Uh, Mark, there's no question that the 5-year survival of breast cancer, prostate cancer, and colon cancer in this country is better than other countries. That's proven, and certainly in
Yes.
certain chemo and radiations, we're doing much better than other countries. But what do you think the underlying problem is? Is our food contaminated? Is there a lot of these hormone interrupters and pesticide? They're feeding us like a rat lab, making everybody obese and diabetic and metabolic syndrome. And then to take care of that, that creates a lot of business. So you have now pharmaceuticals that are working on all the diabetic. It seems that we are just chasing ourselves because with all the stuff that we talk about every day on TV and radio articles, you can't beat it. You cannot. Look at the rate of obesity and epidemic in this country. And by the way, if anyone wants to jump in and have this discussion with us, 877-970-2999. We're talking to Dr. Marc Siegel. What do you think, Mark?
David, the point you just made is excellent because I was talking about how our diet is and what it should be, and you and I have talked about the Mediterranean diet a lot. Rate of obesity in France is 6%. I mean, even with all the wine they drink in France and all the pasta they eat over there, meanwhile, they're having a lot more fruit and vegetables than we are. But your point is really important, which is our food is loaded with all these chemicals, with antibiotics, processed food. We think it's great. It's safer if it's processed. Meanwhile, it causes us to gain a lot of weight. So I think we have a terrible obesity problem, and that's really, really leading to this. It puts us in a position where we need our best doctors to treat people with multiple medical problems. And there are prescription drugs, by the way. We love to have a load of prescription drugs we take. Well, guess what? They're very expensive.
Okay, so the cost of some of these prescription medications in the country, for example, like a month worth of Lipitor in U.S. is $130, whereas in other countries it could be somewhere between $7 to $10. So there are two ways to go about this. If you take the incentive away from these companies, you're not going to have anyone coming up with new stuff. There's no innovation, there's no discoveries, and that's one of the reasons why we don't have any new antibiotics, but we have all the cancer and heart medications.
This point you're making is really, really important. Like if Pfizer, well, I don't want to mention names really and start with that, but you know what? If a drug company wants to sell to Germany, they get a take it or leave it. Germany says either you sell to us all of it, and they set the price. Here, I mean, look, the drugs are developed here, and yet we end up paying more for it, much more for something like Lipitor than they will pay somewhere in Europe.
Because of
that's
our
awful.
negotiation factors and issues that we have.